Good day, everybody. It's currently the 5th of July here in Japan. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July weekend. We sure did here. Lots of fireworks and non-such. I was pretty surprised about the extent that they did here for the base and everybody locally, so very happy for that. Also, want to looking forward to all the new updates and changes to the website here. Kind of looking forward to that. See what that blog of the day is going to turn out to be. Hopefully, expands outside the local area that I know 90% of the people from this site actually come from. And also, I see only about 1% don't come from the States, so I hope that 1% actually enjoys this overseas tidbit of information, as well as people back in the States. Maybe you might get some view of the weather outside of there. But enough of my rambling. Let's actually get into the weather right here. Strong low about 980 millibars. It's dissipating, moving up into the Sea of O. This is commonly the graveyard of the Western Pacific. This is starting to occlude here. Models indicating, and typically also what happens is a triple point low is going to form right here off the cold front and the warm front and the occlusion right in here. With the cold front's going to be extending back, becoming stationary to the south of Japan. This is actually really increasing winds right in here due to the strong Siberian high in the north and the West Pac high to the south. Winds down in here about 30 to 40 knots, kicking up seas around 15 feet. So any shipping traffic coming from Hawaii or south to Guam moving through this area is really going to be roughed up. Also in the note, though, there's some lows up here in China and high pressure over China as well. I'm going to get into that here in a minute. And as far as the tropics go, though, not too much going on. Just the trade winds, the high pressure, the West Pac high is really suppressing any activity down here. So shear's lessened off a little bit just south of Mindanao here, but outside of that, though, nothing's really developing, and models aren't even indicating anything developing over the next 72 hours. Just a few cells rolling across the Philippines at most. They're probably going to get some rain up here the next couple of days in Manila, definitely. But that's typical this time of year. So I'm going to get into what's going on in the chart here. Here's the 050Z chart produced by the Koreans here. Biggest keynote here is, as I was already talking about, the gradient south of Japan here between the high pressure to the north and the West Pac high. Really tight gradient in here, and always going to have some strong winds associated with that. Also, if you notice on the satellite picture, a lot of convection in there, and thunderstorms being called down in around Okinawa here. So lots of weather, but outside of that, the Western Pacific's really not seeing too much else going on. Widespread fog over Korea. I kind of wanted to get into that and have a little, weather 101 on this. See a couple areas of high up to the north, low, and then a little high just to the south of this before the stationary front. This is what we call a col. It's basically light and variable winds, fog persisting. Here, I'll show it to you. I made a little graphic. And this is really simple representation. It's not always going to look this pretty. But if you ever see that, you see a low, a high, and a low. In the middle of that, light and variable winds, persistent fog. It's one way to help forecasting when you are lacking in observations and data. If you ever see this pattern set up, you're probably going to get some fog. It happens often over the ocean. Don't see it too much in the States due to the interaction of the air masses, but elsewhere it's actually a common occurrence. Here in the Western Pacific, very common over Korea. And I want to end with the 850 millibar vorticity chart from Sims here. Still showing a lot of upward vertical motion associated with this low pressure up here. One thing to note, though, the vorticity is maxing out right near the center of that dissipating low up here. That's also indicating that the low is undergoing dissipation. If it's vertically stacked instead of stacking back, basically the low is going to not have enough exhaust and it's going to fill itself from the bottom up. So definitely going to see that move up to the Sea of O and eventually dissipate. Maybe the triple point is going to form off, move out to the east there. Still a lot of convection associated with that stationary front, though, all this upward vertical motion being indicated. But also to note that down in the tropics here, nothing too much going on. What is down there, very little upward vertical motion, thus not supporting that convective activity down there. But that's all for today. Just a quick, short little update, and I hope everybody has a great day, and I might talk to you tomorrow. All right.